Hello, everyone. How are you?
Here.
I am so excited to be with you all today, reviewing this amazing book. For those who prefer listening audiobooks, I have recorded an audio summary. If you enjoy this video, please like and subscribe so we know you want more content like this in the future. Your feedback helps us a lot. A mysterious book, a life-changing question. So, my dad gave me a book for my birthday called Sophie's World, and honestly, I was a little skeptical. It was a really thick book, and I was thinking, oh, another one of those deep, boring reads. But wow, was I wrong? This book isn't just a story, it's an adventure for your mind. The original Sophie's World by Jostein Gaarder is a fictional narrative that serves as a history of Western philosophy. It follows a 15-year-old girl named Sophie Amundsen who has a super normal life. You know, school, friends, dealing with homework, the usual stuff. But then, she begins receiving a series of mysterious letters and later a philosophy course from a man named Alberto Knox. The book uses this unusual setup to introduce readers to the main ideas and thinkers of philosophy from its ancient Greek origins to the mid-20th century. The beginning, a mysterious question. So, the book begins with Sophie finding an anonymous note in her mailbox with two simple yet profound questions. Who are you? And where does the world come from? These questions are not just for Sophie, they are the fundamental queries that have driven philosophical thought for millennia. This initial encounter marks the start of her secret correspondence with a mysterious philosopher, later revealed to be Alberto Knox, who becomes her guide on this intellectual journey. The questions he poses are meant to provoke readers to question their own existence and the world around them, just as Sophie does. The philosophy course. Alberto's lessons are structured chronologically, walking Sophie and the reader through the major eras and movements in Western philosophy. Ancient Greece. The journey begins with the pre-Socratics, who were the first to move away from mythological explanations and seek rational answers for the world's origins. He then introduces the trio of Socrates, Plato, and Aristotle, highlighting your distinct approaches. Socrates was a master of dialogue. He didn't write anything down, but instead used a method of questioning to help people discover truths for themselves. His famous belief was that the unexamined life is not worth living, and he challenged people in Athens to question their assumptions about everything from justice to virtue. Plato, Socrates' student, believed that the world we perceive with our senses is just a pale reflection of a more perfect, eternal reality called the world of forms. He explained this with the famous allegory of the cave, where chained prisoners mistake shadows on a cave wall for reality. The philosopher's task, according to Plato, is to escape the cave and see the true, eternal forms. Aristotle, Plato's student, was more focused on the real, observable world. He believed that knowledge comes from experience and observation, not just from abstract ideas. He developed a system of logic, categorized plants and animals, and wrote extensively on ethics, politics, and science, laying the groundwork for many fields of study. The Middle Ages. This period is presented as an era dominated by Christian theology. Philosophers like St. Augustine and St. Thomas Aquinas tried to reconcile Greek philosophy with Christian doctrine, arguing that faith and reason were compatible. Augustine, deeply influenced by Plato, saw God as the ultimate source of truth, while Aquinas used Aristotle's logic to prove the existence of God and organized Christian thought. The Renaissance and Enlightenment. This marks a shift toward humanism and rationalism. Alberto explains how thinkers like Leonardo da Vinci and Galileo championed empirical observation, sparking a scientific revolution. Later, philosophers like Descartes, Spinoza, and Leibniz focused on the power of human reason. Descartes was the father of modern philosophy. He famously sought to find a truth he could not doubt. He concluded with his most famous line, "I think, therefore I am," establishing his own existence as the one undeniable fact. He separated mind from matter, which became a foundational idea in Western thought. Baruch Spinoza was a rationalist who believed God and nature were one and the same, a concept called pantheism. He argued that everything in the universe is part of this single substance, and we can understand it through reason. Gottfried Leibniz also believed in the power of reason, but proposed that the universe is made up of countless independent monads or spiritual substances. He famously argued that we live in the best of all possible worlds because God, a perfect being, would have created nothing less. The Romantic period to modernity. Sophie learns about the Romantic reaction against pure reason, followed by figures like Hegel, Kierkegaard, Marx, Darwin, and Freud. George Wilhelm Friedrich Hegel saw history as a grand, unfolding drama of reason, a dialectical process where ideas clash, leading to a new, higher truth. Søren Kierkegaard, considered the father of existentialism, reacted against Hegel's grand system. He focused on the individual's subjective experience and the anxiety and freedom that come with making personal choices in a world without objective meaning. Karl Marx took Hegel's historical dialectic and applied it to class struggle, arguing that society is shaped by economic forces. He believed that a revolution of the working class was inevitable and would lead to a communist society. Charles Darwin revolutionized science with his theory of evolution by natural selection, which provided a natural explanation for the diversity of life, challenging religious creation stories and influencing philosophy. Sigmund Freud explored the human mind, introducing the concept of the unconscious. He argued that our actions are often driven by repressed desires and memories, which he analyzed through dream interpretation and psychotherapy. The big twist. While the book is an educational tool, it also has a fictional plot that deepens the philosophical questions. Sophie starts receiving strange postcards addressed to a girl named Hilda Moller-Knag from her father, a UN major named Albert Knag, who is in Lebanon. These postcards contain messages intended for Hilda, but are clearly related to Sophie's philosophy lessons. The climax occurs when Sophie and Alberto realize they're characters in a book written by Hilda's father as a 15th birthday gift for his daughter. This meta-narrative twist forces both Sophie and the reader to grapple with a profound philosophical concept, the nature of reality and free will. Sophie and Alberto aren't real people, they are fictional characters. This revelation challenges the very premise of their existence, raising questions about whether our own lives are truly our own, or if we are merely characters in a grander narrative. Ultimately, Sophie and Alberto escape the book into Hilda's world, becoming fleeting, ephemeral figures, continuing to exist in a way that transcends the boundaries of their fictional reality. The book concludes with Hilda, who, now a reader, is poised to continue the philosophical journey on her own, hinting that philosophy is a never-ending quest for all of us. Why you should read this book. This book is more than a story. It's an adventure for your brain. It taught me to be more curious and to not be afraid to ask big, difficult questions. It's okay if you don't find the answers right away. The important part is the journey of looking for them. Sophie's World is for anyone who has ever looked up at the stars and wondered, what is all this for? My dad's gift wasn't just a book. It was an invitation to think, to question, and to see the world in a whole new, exciting way. So, if you're looking for a book that will make you feel like a detective of your own mind, this is the one. Trust me, you won't be disappointed. I hope my review has inspired you to pick up this book. It's truly a journey you'll never forget. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon with my next video.